Hello everyone, I'm Chris Griffiths, the author of the Creative Thinking Handbook, founder of Open Genius and creator of theyre, the thinking tool. I'd like to talk to you today about why some people think they're not creative. It's a very strange way to think because we are all creative. It's an interesting point because people don't realize that you don't learn how to be creative. Creativity is actually unlearned as we get older. George Land did an interesting study back in 1969, and he used the same test that NASA used to find its highly creative engineers with very young children. And it was so fascinating because very young children would score very highly in these creativity tests. He would then go back to those same children 5 years later and get them to do the test again. It was so depressing, the results, because whereas the first time they took the test, 98% scored in the highly creative range. 5 years later, 30% scored in the highly creative range. 5 years later, only 12% scored in the highly creative range. And when they did this test with people over the age of 25, and we're talking 250,000 people, only 2% scored in the highly creative range. And the reason for that is as we get older, we become more constrained by the box. People talk about thinking outside the box, but they don't think what the box is. The box is your beliefs, your assumptions, just your behaviours. You have to learn how to challenge those to actually become more creative. It's not about learning how to be creative, it's about learning how to throw away the box. There are ways that you can do it, and that's one of the reasons that Melina and I wrote the Creative Thinking Handbook, was to provide process and systems that automatically remove that box.